Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of biology. And of course, today we're going to look at the eye and its defects. Okay, I'm going to look at the eye and then look at eye defects, all right, and then answer a lot of questions to make us gain confidence as it relates to only the eye. Okay, so and that's why the question start feature on the O3 Schools app is a bomb. All right, do not forget that these tutorials, all of these episodes, they are brought to you by the O3 Schools app, either the JAMB app or the WAEC app. All right, if you have made a decision that you do not want to write JAMB or WAEC twice, all right, in your life, in this your lifetime, you want to write it once, or you have written before and don't want to ever write again, choose the O3 Schools application. All right, we'll talk about the app in a moment. Let us see a past question from the JAMB app. This is a 2013 question, number 39. 2013 question, number 39. It is being displayed on the screen right now. It says that the eye defect caused by the development of cloudy areas in the lenses is A says cataract, B says astigmatism, C says presbyopia, D says glaucoma. All right, so we'll come back to this question and many more at the end of the class. Okay, so please ensure you stay to the end because our drive here is to teach you. We believe that once we have taught you properly, then answering question will be the least of a problem. So please ensure you download the application. The app has everything you need to succeed. All the past questions for all the subjects are on the application. So you will not have any need to go and buy any physical past question outside. What's more, there's a classroom feature that has lecture notes structured according to the JAMB syllabus. The classroom also has the JAMB syllabus there, okay? So you don't need to go and worry about where will I get original JAMB syllabus, okay? It's in the classroom. And then there's a study plan in that classroom. That study plan, what it does is that once you create it, it will create a timetable for you, all right? And crash all the subjects you want to study, either for your JAMB or for your WAEC, and then create a timetable with the syllabus, okay, and with the lecture notes on the app. So you're able to read a topic from the lecture note, use the syllabus to read the topic, and I swear get full understanding and then answer question, okay? So it's a bomb feature and to enable you to finish your syllabus on time because a lot of you study and prepare for JAMB exam or WAEC exam without studying with the syllabus. So that's completely what makes that impossible. You will finish your syllabus. What's more, also, there's a question search feature. Just like we will search for this question, we just went to the app, click on question search, click on the subject biology, type I. Okay, once you just type I, all the questions that JAMB has said, from the beginning of JAMB, okay, that has to do with I. All of them came out for us to answer. It is from them we're going to pick some to answer at the end of the class, so stay put. Then likewise, there's also a UTME mock or WAEC challenge, okay, on the application every Saturday. All right, so we test you weekly to see how prepared you are. All right, so in the mock challenge, you get it to JAMB past question, JAMB likely exam question. You win prizes also every Saturday, and as well, you'll be able to understand how examiners are thinking and how they set questions, making you confident as to prepare for your exam. It's also able to track how prepared you are per time. Okay, so please jump on the application, download it, and activate it. There's an activation fee for the app, which is on the app. If you want to activate, send a message to this number on WhatsApp, 09121515246, or just click on activate on the app. At the top, once you click on activate, the next page that opens, you see buy activation key at the top. Click on that buy activation key, then you will see what the methods you can use to get your activation. All right, so the correct amount, click on buy transfer, you see the correct amount and the account details for the application. Okay, wish you the best. And please do not relent. Okay, so let us look at the eye today. First of all, we all have eyes, Abi. Okay. Okay. Some people have eyes, but they are unfortunately unable to see. Okay, but we all have eyes. All right. And of course, what is the eye to you? What does the eye help you to achieve? Okay, and we said the eye is it's a sense organ, and this is the last sense organ we are discussing. Okay, we'll talk about the tongue, talk about the nose, talk about the ear, we talked about the skin in the last class. Okay, this is the last one, which is the eye, and the eye is a sense organ for what? For vision. Okay, the eye is a sense organ for vision. Use your eyes to see. Okay, use your eye to see. What does the eye do? It detects lights. Detects lights, and then sends visual information to the brain, allowing us to see. Okay, it detects lights, all right, and then sends visual information. And sends visual information to the brain. to the brain, allowing us to what? To see what properly. Okay, so that is the function of what? Of the eye. The eye is an organ, it's a sense organ for vision. For vision, all right, it detects light. That's what your eye does, detect light. And once it detects light, it sends the visual information to the what? To the brain, allowing us what? To see. Okay, so the eye is a specialized organ capable of receiving visual information. It's a specialized organ, specialized organ, very important organ. We do not have eyes, means it's a lot, okay, it's a lot. You will never know until you close your eyes, or you close your eyes and start walking, pretending as if you do not have eyes. That's when you see the importance of eyes. Okay, the eyes they are very, very important. Okay, so they are what? Specialized organs that are capable of sending visual information, okay, to the what? To the brain. Okay, so they are protected by the what? By the eye socket. Okay, we all have eye socket that are enclosed. Okay, they are protected by the eye sockets. Okay, it is protected from mechanical injury by the what? By the eye socket. The eye is protected from mechanical injury. Please take note of that. Mechanical injury by what now? The eye socket. All right, so this is the diagram of the eye. I will need to clean this. I just wanted to show you this for illustration's sake. Okay, this is the eye, and these are the different regions in the eye. Okay, so this is the outermost part, the sclera. We have what? The choroid. We have the vitreous humor. All right, then we have what? The fovea here. We have the optic nerve here. We have the blind spot here. We have what? The suspensory ligament here. We have the lens. All right, lens. LENS. All right, then we have what? The aqueous chamber here. We have the iris. Then we have the pupil. We have the cornea. We have the eyelid. We have the ciliary body. This is what? The eyelash. Then we have what? The conjunctiva. All right, this is the what? The rectus muscle. All right, so these are all found in every eye. Okay, these are found in every eye. These are the parts that are found in the eye. Okay, so we say that the eye is what? It enclosed in what? In the eye socket. It is protected from mechanical injury from what? By what? By the what? By the eye socket. Okay, the eye socket. That's why once you hit somebody now, okay, it's the socket you most probably will hit. So yeah, this side will now swell up. Okay, this side will swell up or it will tear. All right, but it will not majorly will affect the eye. So it takes a lot for the eye to even get what? Injured because of what? This what? Eye socket. All right. So now it's also important to know that it is also protected by the upper and lower eyelids. Okay, the eye is also protected by the upper and lower eyelids. Okay, and inside the upper eyelid, okay, above each of the what? Above each of the eye that you have, inside the upper eyelid, above what? Each of the eye that we have, there's a gland there present called the lacrimal gland. Okay, this lacrimal gland is also called the tear gland. The tear. Okay, you know your tears now when you cry. Okay, all right. So it is what? Called what? The lacrimal gland, or what? The tear gland. Okay, it is found in the what? In the upper eyelid, above each eye. Above each eye, the lacrimal gland is what is there. Okay, above the what? The upper eyelid, which produces what? Most of our tears. Which produces, okay, most of our tears. Okay, please take note of that. All right, so in the upper eyelid, above each eye, okay, there's a lacrimal gland, which is called what? The tear gland, which produces most of our tears. This tear fluid, the tear fluid, okay, contains something that we call lysozyme, okay, which helps to what? To kill what? Germ, which is used for killing germ. All right, tear fluid contains what we call what? Lysozyme, which is used what? Which helps in what? In killing germs. Now, the wall of the eyeball consists of what? Of three layers. Okay, we have the outermost layer, which is what? The sclera, as you can see here. We have what? The middle layer, which is what? The choroid, as you can see here. Then we now have what? The innermost layer, okay, called the retina. Okay, it's not in my diagram somewhere here. Retina is this innermost layer. retina. Okay, that is what the retina, R-E-T-I-N-A. All right, so let us put that down. We have the eyeballs. The walls of the eyeball consist of what? Of three layers. Okay, number one, we have what? The sclera, which is what? The outermost layer. Okay, we have what? The choroid, which is what now? The middle layer. Okay, then we now have what? The what now? The retina, which is what? The innermost layer. Now, this first one, okay, is a thick layer. This sclera you are seeing, the outermost layer is a thick layer which protects the inner part. It protects a thick layer that protects the inner parts of the eye. So the sclera will protect what? The inner part of what? Of the eye. In fact, it helps the eye to maintain its rigidity. Okay? It helps the eye, also helps the eye to maintain its rigidity. Okay? So that is what the sclera, all right? It protects the inner part of the eye, helps the eye to maintain its rigidity. It also forms the cornea. It forms the cornea. This cornea you are seeing here, okay? It forms what? This cornea in front, all right? The sclera forms the cornea, all right, in front, all right? And this cornea is also covered by a thin transparent membrane. This cornea is covered by a thin transparent membrane that is known as the conjunctiva, all right? Conjunctiva is here, all right? It's covered by a thin transparent membrane known as what? The conjunctiva, all right? So that is what the sclera. The sclera is the outermost layer. The outermost layer protects the inner part of the eye, helps the eye to maintain its rigidity, forms the cornea in front, and this cornea, like we said, is covered by a thin transparent membrane that we know as what? The conjunctiva. Now let us talk about what the middle layer, which is what? The choroid. The choroid, all right? The choroid ladder, all right? Now the choroid is colored. It's colored, and the reason why it is colored is because it has a rich supply of blood capillaries. All right, so the choroid layer, which is what? The middle layer, all right, is also called coat. All right, you can see it being called coat, C-O-A-T, or what? The choroid layer. All right, and I said that what? It is colored. It is colored, and the reason why it is colored is because it has a rich supply. Of what now? Of blood capillaries. And because it has what? A rich supply of what? Of blood capillaries, it helps to distribute nutrients to other layers, okay, in the walls of the eye, all right? It helps to distribute nutrients, distribute nutrients to other layers, okay, in the walls of what? Of the eye, all right? So that is what the choroid, it is the middle layer. It is colored, and the reason why it is colored is because it has a rich supply of blood capillaries. And because it has a rich supply of blood capillaries, it helps to what? To distribute nutrients to other layers. The choroid also has what? The pigment melanin, okay? This choroid layer also has the pigment called melanin, all right, which is what? Present, okay, in the eye. And then it's why does it possess what? This pigment called melanin? It possesses it because it helps to what? To prevent reflection, okay? Helps to what? Prevent reflection, okay, in the what? In the eye, all right? So it helps what? To prevent reflection, all right, that is coming what? To the eye. Now also the choroid is what? Is attached to the what? To the iris. This attached to this iris, as you can see here, all right? This choroid, the choroid is attached to the what? To the iris. And why is it and what is the iris? You know what the function of the iris is, right? The iris is a muscular ring. It's a muscular ring, all right? It's a muscular ring, okay, that controls how light enters into the eye, all right? The iris is a muscular ring that controls how light enters into the eye. All right, so that is the eye. It's a very, very also very important part of the eye. So that is the choroid. We say it is colored, and the reason why it's colored because it has a rich supply of blood capillaries. All right, and aside from having a rich supply of blood capillaries, because it has it rather, that means it can what supply nutrients to what to other layers, okay, of the walls of the eye. It also has a pigment called what the melanin, which helps to what to prevent what reflection of light, okay, into within the what the eye, prevents reflection of light within the eye, and also what attached to what to the iris, okay, which is a muscular ring that controls how light enters into the eye. Okay, so now let us now see the retina, which is what the third layer. The retina. The retina is what is the innermost what layer. But before I talk about the retina, please want to beg you to support us. Okay, support us, support what you are doing, and support your mates so that they can also succeed like you. So many students are not aware that this channel exists. Okay, and you are the only one that can make them aware. All right, so your simple effort of what liking this video, okay, will go a long way. It will make what this social media to what to send signal to them as they search for things like this. They can be suggested to them. Please click on that like button. That hand that looks like this, click on it. Just click on that like button right now, even as you are watching. Also, subscribe to the channel. Subscription is free. It's just for you to get notification whenever I release a new video. And what's more, also ensure you copy the link, okay, of this video. Wherever you are watching, for TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, copy the link. Share it to your friends and your loved ones. Share it to your class group, your WhatsApp groups, okay? Let them all come and learn, okay? You are not the only one that want to succeed. That is the truth, okay? And please do not be the reason why someone is not aware of this channel and someone is not passing, okay? Look at our testimonies. See, the app and these tutorials are enough for you, all right? Get the app, follow our tutorials vigorously and diligently. You'll see how you will testify. So now let us look at the retina. Now, before we look at the retina, please, on the iris also, say the iris is the muscular organ that controls how light enters into the eye. And because of that, that means that what the eye is what is the diaphragm. Okay, so the iris rather is the diaphragm. Diaphragm of the eye. Okay, for those of you that are used to what that are used to camera, all right. If you know the diaphragm, okay, it's what controls how light enters into what to the camera. All right, so the iris is the diaphragm of what of the eye. Okay, and there's a space. There is space inside the the iris that is now called what that is called the pupil. Okay, look at this space. All right, inside the iris called the pupil. So the eye is the diaphragm of the eye. Sorry, the iris is the diaphragm of the eye. Please take note of that. It is very, very important. Okay, so now let us look at what the retina. Now, the retina is the sensory part of the eye. Okay, we call it the sensory part of the eye. Okay, and the reason why we call it the sensory part of the eye because it contains sensitive cells. Okay, so in the retina you find sensitive cells. Okay, you find the rods, and you find the cones. Okay, so that is what you find in the retina. It's called the sensory part of the eye. It contains sensitive cells, contains the rods and the cones. This is the retina here. I think I'll show you that before. This is what the retina here. It contains the rods and and the cones. The rods here, they are sensitive to dim light. Take note. Okay, the rods, they are sensitive to dim light and colorless vision. All right, please take note of that. The rods, they are sensitive to what? To dim light. Okay, so whenever the light is dim, okay, it is the rod that senses it. Okay, but whenever the light is bright, okay, that is what the work of the cones. So the cones, they are sensitive to bright light. Okay, they are sensitive to what? To bright light, and it helps and are able to detect colors. Okay, the cones, they are able to detect colors. Okay, because they are sensitive to to bright light, they are able to to detect colors. That's what the cones are sensitive to bright light and are able to detect colors. Okay, so we say the retina is the sensory part of the eye, contains sensitive cells, The rods and the cones. The rods sensitive to dim light and colorless vision, while what the cones sensitive to what, to bright light, and because of that, they're able to what, to detect what, colors. The rods and the cones together, they possess what, a pigment. Okay, they possess a pigment called rhodospin, and iodospin. Okay, they contain what, pigments known as what, rhodospin and iodospin. They are the what, the light sensitive pigments, okay, in the retina. Okay, rhodopsin. Okay, sorry, rhodopsin, S-I-N, and iodopsin. Okay, it's S-I-N. All right, sorry about that. Okay, it's rhodopsin and iodopsin. Okay, they are the light sensitive pigments, okay, that make vision possible. They are present in what, in the retina. All right, okay. So in the rods, you find the rhodopsin. Okay, in the cones, you find the what, the iodopsin. Please take note of that. Okay, so the rhodopsin, they are found in the rods. The iodopsin, they are found in what, in the cones. Okay, please take note of that. Then likewise, it's important to know that the most sensitive part of the retina is the fovea. Okay, the fovea is shown in the diagram. Okay, the fovea, where is it? This is the most sensitive part of what, of the retina, this place here. Okay, this is what the fovea, F-O-V-E-A. Okay, the most sensitive part. The most sensitive part of the retina is the fovea, F-O-V-E-A. It gives the best vision. Okay, the fovea gives the best vision. Okay, so the fovea is the most sensitive part of what, of the retina. Now the outer region of the eye. Okay, in the outer region of the eye we find what, the aqueous humor. Okay, where is the aqueous humor? You see what, the aqueous humor, where's the, I've seen vitreous, where's aqueous humor? Okay, I've seen what, the aqueous humor, yeah, aqueous humor here. Okay, so in the outer layer of what, the eye we find what, the aqueous humor. Okay, this aqueous humor is found between what, it's a watery liquid that is found between the what, the lens and the cornea. All right, so it is found in between the lens and what, and the cornea. Okay, that is called the aqueous what, humor. Then also have the vitreous humor. Okay, the vitreous humor. Okay, and this one is a jelly-like fluid. It's a jelly, call it what? A jelly-like fluid. Filling the eyeball. Okay, this vitreous humor helps what, the eye to what, to maintain what shape. Helps what, it to what, to maintain shape. All right. So in the outer layer, we'll find the aqueous humor, which is a watery liquid found between the lens and the cornea. They also have the vitreous humor. Okay, the jelly-like fluid filling the eyeball, which helps what, to give it what, shape. Okay, so the aqueous humor helps what, to nourish what, the eye. Okay, helps to nourish the eye. The vitreous humor gives it what, shape. Now let us now quickly talk about accommodation. All right, so we can take care of this diagram now. All right, so please ensure you like this video. It is very important to the success of other students. Okay, ensure you subscribe. All right, this subscription will make you get notification whenever we release a new video. It is also very important to your own success. Okay, so we're looking at accommodation. Now, what is accommodation? Okay, we said accommodation is the ability of the eye to bring the images of far and near objects into focus. Okay, the ability of the eye to bring images of near and far objects into focus. Okay, that's what we call what accommodation. So your eye, in fact, the camera that you see, okay, they studied the eye to build the camera. Okay, you see just now when we saw that what the iris is not at the diaphragm of the eye. Okay, controls how light enters into the camera. Okay, so the eyes, it was what they studied to make the camera. So God is complete, made everything complete in your system. All right. So the accommodation is the ability of the eye to bring images of near and far objects into focus. Okay. You can also say it's the process by which the lens of the eye changes shape. Okay. Changes shape to focus what objects at different distances. Okay, so that is what accommodation, the process by which the lens of the eye changes shape. The lens of the eye will change shape. Okay, like if I view something from far now, if I'm viewing a distant object, you see that the lens of the eye will become what? Thinner and longer. Okay, it will become thinner and longer. The lens of the eye will become thinner and longer when you are viewing a far object. Okay, but when you are viewing a near object, an object that is close, the lens of the eye now become what? Thickened. Okay, it becomes thickened and what? And rounded. Okay, it becomes what? Thickened and rounded when you are viewing an object that's what? Very, very close. Okay, so accommodation is what? Is the process by which the lens of the eye changes its shape. All right, to focus on objects at different distances. That is what accommodation. But how does accommodation work? Okay, how does it work? All right, so first of all, you need to know that the lens is what? Is elastic, and its shape is controlled by the ciliary muscles. Okay, the lens is elastic. Know that the lens in your eye is what? Is elastic. Okay, and its shape is controlled by what we call the ciliary muscles and the suspensory ligaments. Okay, so its shape is controlled by what? By the ciliary muscles and the suspensory what? Ligaments. Okay, now when you want to view an object that is what? Near. All right, if you want to view an object that is near, I told you just now that if you are viewing near objects, the lens will what? Become what? Thickened. All right, and then what? Become more rounded. All right, so the shape will change. But when I'm viewing something that is far, the shape of the lens will become what? Thinner and even what? Longer. Okay, so now when you are viewing an object that is near, when viewing near objects, all right, what happens? Number one, ciliary muscles contract. Okay, like I told you just now that the lens is what? Is elastic. Okay, and the shape is controlled by the ciliary muscles and the suspensory ligament. All right, so when you are viewing an object that is near, what happens is that the ciliary muscle contracts, and that contraction that makes what? The shape of the eye to become more thickened. Okay, so the ciliary muscles will contract, the suspensory ligaments will slacken. It will become what? Slack. Okay, so the ciliary muscles will contract, the suspensory ligaments will slacken, and then the lens will become thicker and more curved. Number three, the lens will become thicker and more curved. This is what happens when you are viewing an object that is near. Okay, the ciliary muscles will contract, the suspensory ligament will slacken, then the lens will become thicker and more curved. And when this happens, it increases the refractive powers. Okay, it increases the refractive power. Refractive powers to bend light more strongly. Okay, so it increases the refractive power to what? To bend light more strongly, so that the image can focus on the retina. All right. So it increases the refractive power to bend light more strongly. All right, making the image to focus on the retina. Okay, so this is what happens whenever we view what objects that are near. Ciliary muscles contract, suspensory ligaments will slacken, the lens will become thicker and more curved, making the refractive power to be increased. Then they're able to bend, not bend, but please bend, to bend light more strongly, making the image to focus on the retina. But what about if you are viewing a far object or distant object? When viewing a distant object. So what happens when you are viewing a distant object? This time the ciliary muscles will not contract. So what happens to the ciliary muscle? They will what? They will relax. Okay, so number one, the ciliary muscles relax. What will happen to the suspensory ligament this time? It will what? Instead of slacking, it will tighten. Okay, so number two, the suspensory ligament, okay, it will what? It will tighten. Then what will happen to the lens? The lens will not become thicker this time again. Instead, to become what? Thinner and become what? Less curved. Okay, so number three, the lens becomes what? Thinner and what? Less curved. Okay, and what will happen to the refractive power? Will it increase the refractive power or decrease it this time? So it will decrease the refractive power. Okay, so in this case, the ciliary muscles will relax, the suspensory ligament will tighten, the lens will become thinner and less curved, and this reduces what? The refractive power. It reduces the what? The refractive power. Okay, so now making what? Distant light rays to focus on what? On the retina. All right, making distant light rays to focus on the retina. All right, so this is what happens in the case when we are viewing what? A distant object. So what is the importance of what? Of accommodation? All right, accommodation allows what? The eye to switch focus. Okay, it allows the eye to switch focus between what? Near and far objects. Okay, that is what the importance of what? Of accommodation. Number one, okay, which is, I think that is just the only one, allows the eye to switch focus between distant and what? And close or near objects. Okay, please take note of that. That is what the importance of what? Of accommodation. And because I told you that the lens is what? Is elastic. So during old age, all right, the lens may lose its elasticity. So when we are becoming old, your lens may lose its elasticity, and that's what leads to what we call presbyopia. Okay, due to what? To the loss of lens elasticity. Presbyopia is a condition, okay, due to what? Loss of what? Lens elasticity. Okay, so it declines with age. The ability for your lens to be able to focus on what? Near and distant objects declines with age. It reduces as you grow older and you will grow older. All right, so that is that about what? Accommodation. Now let us quickly look at what? Eye defects. Let's look at eye defects, and then we are done with this class. So please ensure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, share this link, share the video link to your friends and loved ones. Okay, in the next class we are going to talk about endocrine gland. All right, we're going to talk about endocrine gland, and then we are done with coordination and control. All right, so now let's look at eye defects. Eye defects. Now let us quickly begin to look into what the eye defects, and the first one I'm going to look at is short-sightedness. Okay, we call short-sightedness as myopia. Okay, so number one, we have what? Short-sightedness. Okay, also known as what? Myopia. All right, so it's very, very easy to differentiate between short-sightedness and long-sightedness. It has been easy from the time immemorial, and it will always be easy. Okay, so for short sight, short, it means you can see near objects clearly. Okay, so short-sightedness is an eye defect in which you can see close objects, near objects clearly, okay, but far object or distant object are blurry, become what? Blurry, okay? So that is what? Myopia, okay? So also for long-sightedness or hypermetropia or hyperopia, okay, it is called what? An eye defect where you can see distant, long, it is long, so you can see distant what? Objects. They cannot see objects that are near, all right? So never confuse short-sightedness with long-sightedness, okay? In short-sightedness is what we call myopia. You can see near objects clearly. You cannot see what you cannot see distant objects clearly. Okay, they become what? Blurry. Okay, now let us please see what myopia. All right, what causes it? What causes it is what? Is the eyeball. The eyeball is too long. Okay, if eyeball, what causes it is what? Is eyeball too long, or lens, lens, too curved, okay? And this is what causes what? Myopia, when the eyeball is too long or lens is too curved. And then what happens to the image? In myopia, the image focuses in front of the camera. The image focuses in front of the retina. All right. So in short-sightedness, the image focuses in front of what? Of the retina, and that is why you can see objects that are near. All right. The image will focus in front of the what? Of the retina, and that is why you can see objects that are near. All right. So now let us see the effect. Like you can see what near object clearly. The effect. Okay, you can see near objects clearly. Okay, but what? Distant objects become what? Blurry. But distant objects are what? Are blurry. Okay, so that is what the effect. Okay, you can see near objects very, very clearly, conspicuously, visibly, but what? Cannot see distant objects clearly. They become what? Blurry. And how can you correct what? These? Okay, you can correct what? Short-sightedness by using a concave lens. All right, you can correct short-sightedness by using what? A concave lens. This is how a concave lens is. All right, so something like this. Okay, you can correct what? Short-sighted using what? A concave lens. Concave lens, if you don't see concave lens in the options, okay, you can also see what? Diverging lens. Diverging lens. Okay, so concave lenses are also known as what? As diverging lens. All right, so this is what you use to correct short-sightedness, called myopia. All right, eyeball too long or lens too curved. That is what causes it, and the image will focus in front of the retina. The effect is that you can see near objects clearly, but distant objects become blurry. All right, let us now go to the second one, which is what now? The hypermetropia. Hypermetropia, the one that is what? Long-sightedness. All right, long-sightedness. This time, number 2. Eye defect number 2. Long-sightedness. Okay, this one is called what? Hypermetropia. It's called Hyperopia or what? Hypermetropia. Okay, so it's also either called hypermetropia or what's called what? The hyperopia. All right, you can see any of those things or see long-sightedness. Now, this is an eye defect where you can see objects that are very far, but you cannot see what? Objects that are very, very close clearly. All right, so you can see objects that are very far very clearly, but things that are very close to you, you won't see them very, very clearly. This one is what we call what? Long-sightedness. Okay, what causes it? Causes in this time what? The eyeball too short. No, in short sight we say the eyeball is too long. Okay, so what causes that? The eyeball too short or the lens too flat, okay? And this time the image will focus behind the retina, all right? The image focuses behind the retina. Okay, so that's what happens. Okay, so the eyeball is when the eyeball is too short or the lens too flat. Image focuses behind the retina. What is the effect? So effect is that you can see can see distant objects clearly. Okay, but what near objects this time blurry. All right, so that is what the effect. And how can you correct it? Correction. How can you correct long-sightedness? This time you do not use concave lens, but you use a convex lens. Convex lens. This convex lens is also known as as converging lens. Okay, so if you do not see convex lens, you will see converging lens. All right, and this is how it looks like. Okay, so this is a convex lens. All right, so long-sightedness or hyperopia or hypermetropia, the eyeball too short or lens too flat, image focuses behind the retina. The effect is that you can see distant object clearly, but near objects become blurry. Then correction, you use convex lens or converging lens. All right, so thirdly, let us go to the third eye defect, and that is astigmatism. Astigmatism. Please download the app. Okay, download, copy the link of the video, share to your friends. I know what I'm telling you. All right, you in fact, you'll be the one to give testimony. So let us go to astigmatism. Astigmatism. Now, astigmatism is it's an eye defect that is caused as a result of uneven curvature of the cornea. Okay, so when there's uneven curvature of the cornea, all right, it leads to astigmatism. Either an uneven curvature of the cornea or uneven or irregular curvature of the lens. Okay, it leads to astigmatism. Okay, so let us see. So this is caused by irregular curvature of the cornea or lens. Okay, and definitely, what is the effect of this? So you see distorted or blurred vision. Okay, it leads to distorted or blurred vision. Okay, so effect. Okay, distorted or blurred vision at all distances. Please take note of that, okay? We see distorted or blurred vision at all distances. And how can we correct astigmatism? We use cylindrical lenses, okay? Correction. This time we use cylindrical lenses, okay? So that is for astigmatism, okay? It is caused by uneven curvature of the cornea or irregular curvature of the cornea or the lenses, all right? And the effect is that you see distorted or blurred vision at all distances. And the correction is using cylindrical lenses. You must take note of all the corrections, okay? So now let us now see presbyopia. We already talked about presbyopia when we're talking about accommodation, all right? So we say the lens is it's an elastic organ, okay, of the eye. It's an elastic part of the eye. So when the eye loses its elasticity, okay, due to age, okay, it leads to presbyopia. All right, should we repeat that one? Okay, let me just write something down for you. So lens loses elasticity, okay, due to age. All right, what is the effect? Okay, you see difficulty in focusing on near objects. Okay, so that is presbyopia. Okay, we see difficulty in focusing on near objects. And how do you correct it? We use convex lens. Okay, convex lens or bifocal lens. All right, we use convex reading glasses. Okay, or what? Bifocal lens. All right, so we correct what? Presbyopia by using what? Convex reading glasses. Okay, or what? Bifocal lens. Convex reading glasses or what? Bifocal lens. Up next, let us see cataracts. Cataracts. C-A-T-A-R-A-C-T. Cloudiness. Cataracts. Whenever you hear cataracts, okay, just know about just less cloudiness, just come to your mind. Cloudiness. Okay, so we have cataracts. Now, cataract is characterized by increased cloudiness. Increased cloudiness of the lens. Okay, and this is what will cause it was cataract, all right? Increased cloudiness of the lens, all right? That's why I said that what cloudiness should come to mind whenever you hear cataract. So CC, okay? Cataract, increased cloudiness of the lens, of the lens. So what causes it? Causes that's clouding of the lens due to, could be what? Aging, okay? We are getting old. Aging could be what? Injury or disease. Okay, so clouding of the lens, okay, that is due to either aging, that is due to either injury, okay, or what? Disease. Likewise, how do you, what is the effects? You see what? Blood, what? Vision, effects. Effects. Before I talk about how to correct it, what happens? You see what? Blood vision. Okay, or we say dim vision. All right, so that is what the effect, okay, of cataract. You see, you have a blood vision, okay, or your vision will be very, very dim. So now, how do you correct it? You use what? Surgical replacement correction. All right, we use surgical. Since it is the lens that is getting cloudy, we use what? Surgical replacement of the lens. Okay, so this is what happens. This is how you correct the surgical replacement of the lens. Okay, now let us now also see conjunctivitis. Conjunctivitis. Okay, conjunctivitis. Okay, conjunctivitis. All right, now what causes what? Conjunctivitis. Obviously, from the word conjunctivitis, it means that what? It has to do with conjunctiva in the what? In the eye. All right. So this one is caused by what? By inflammation, okay, of the conjunctiva. It is characterized by what? By inflammation of what? Of the conjunctiva. So the cause, all right, is what? Inflammation of the conjunctiva, which is what? A thin transparent membrane. A thin transparent membrane that covers the white part of the eye. Okay, all right, that what? Covers the white part of the eye, okay, the conjunctiva. All right, so when it's what? It's inflamed, okay, you now have what? Conjunctivitis. So what causes it? Okay, can be caused by what? By infection. All right, can be caused by infection. Causes. Okay, so the effects. Okay, yes, it's caused by infection. I'm talking about the causes. It's caused by what? Caused by infection. These infections may either be what? Bacterial or viral. Okay, may either be what? Be bacterial. Okay, or what? Viral what? Infections. Okay, that is why was differentiating it, because when we want to treat it, if it is caused by bacteria, if you want to correct it, you have to use what? An antibiotic eye drop. Antibiotics eye drop. All right. If it's caused by bacteria, use an antibiotic. Antibiotic what? Eye drop. Okay. If it's what? Viral. Okay. It clears on its own. Okay. If it's viral, it clears on its own. Clears on its own. All right. If it is caused by allergy, it can also be caused by what? By irritation. By irritation or what? Allergy. Take note of that, okay? So conjunctivitis can also be caused by what? By irritation or allergy. If it's caused by irritation or allergy, you use what? An anti-allergy what? Eye drop. Okay, it's as simple as that. All right, as that. Okay, so causes is caused by what? Inflammation of what? Of the conjunctiva. All right, that's what causes it. usually what? Infection, bacterial or viral, or irritation, or what slash what allergies. Okay, so this is how what you correct them. So that's all about what the conjunctivitis. Now let us see night blindness, which is what the last eye defect we are going to look at. Night blindness. Is this the sixth or the seventh eye defect? Okay, should be about 6 or 7 that we have talked about so far. So please, this is the last part of the class. So please ensure you download the O3 Schools app. Okay, see, go and check our testimonies. You see a lot of 300s last year, a lot of 300, 290. You that want to study nursing, want to study medicine, want to study competitive courses, med lab, you need a good JAMB score. The first part to your getting admission is passing your JAMB. Pass first. Every other thing is secondary. Pass your JAMB well first. Okay, so let us now see night blindness. You know night blindness now is very popular. Night blindness. Okay, this one is caused by vitamin A deficiency. Okay, so caused by what? Vitamin A deficiency. Okay, also it can also be caused by rod cell damage. Okay, rod cell damage. Okay, I will tell you that the rod, okay, is what is sensitive to what? To dim light. I told you now, right? I told you the rod is sensitive to dim light. The cone is sensitive to what? To bright light. Okay, so if the rod cell is damaged, okay, then it can lead to what? To night blindness, because we're not able to see in dim light. All right, so deficiency of vitamin A causes night blindness. When the rod cell is damaged, it also causes what? Night blindness. So the effect is that what now? You have a difficulty in focusing in what? In dim light, or in seeing, focusing in seeing in what? In dim light. All right, so how do you correct it? So you have to, since it's vitamin A deficiency that causes it too, okay, you have to what? Eat what? Vitamin A rich food. Okay, so correction, vitamin A, consume vitamin A rich diets. Okay, that's how you can correct what? Night blindness. All right, so that is what night blindness. I don't think we should dwell on that too much. So now let us go to the app, answer the questions we have. In fact, the questions will become too easy now, so you really want to answer them yourself. We have about 10 questions. Okay, we are going to go to the app and look for the other questions. All right, so I'm going to show you only 5. All right, I'll just write the yes or the other one out so that you go and answer them. You put all of the answers in the comment section for me. Let me see that you are following. 2004, number 3 says the rods in the retina. This is 2004, number 3. The rods in the retina of the eye are examples of A, say cells, B, say tissues, C, say organs, D, say what? Systems. Okay, I told you that what in the retina they are what? Sensitive or cells. Okay, we talk about what the rods. Okay, and what are the cones? Are they cells or are they organs, tissues, or system? All right, tell me the answer in the comment section. 2000 number 18. 2000 number 18 says short-sightedness can be corrected by lenses which are, is it convex, biconvex, plano-convex, or concave? Okay, tell me the answer in the comment section. 2023 number 1. Which of the following statement is true about the sense organ, the eyes? A says the lens of the eye focuses light into the retina. B says the optic nerve carries auditory signals from the eyes to the brain. C says the iris controls the sense of smell. This says the cornea is the part of the eye responsible for hearing. Don't be smarting the put for this option. Okay, so tell me the correct answer in the comment section. So 2020 number 23 says an old man is likely to be long-sighted because age affects the A say optic nerves, B say retina, C say ciliary muscles, D says what? Cornea. All right, tell me the correct answer in the comment section. 2018 number 33, it says when viewing an object that is close to the human eye, A says eye lens become thin. I told you about all of this. B says ciliary muscles relax. C says suspensory ligament becomes taut. D says eye lens becomes fat. Okay, tell me the correct answer in the comment section. 2016. Go and look for 2016 number 16. Look for 2015 number 28. Look for 1997 number 32. Look for 2021 number 23. Okay. Also look for 1994 number 27. Look for 2013 number 39. All of these are your assignments. I want to see the answers in the comment section. Okay, look for 2022 number 1. Okay, yes. Then look for 2023. You see, I questions. 2023 number 38. Okay. Okay, I think we're done there. So look for all of this. All right, answer all of them. Put all the answers in the comment section. I want to see how well you are following. All right. So my name is Master T, the commander of the O3 Schools Army. I wish you all the best. I'll see you in the next class. Thank you for watching. We'll talk about endocrine glands, which put an end to coordination and control. See you there.